Hello.
and welcome to Don't Tell Our Moms.
Don't tell our mom.
We are on episode 5,
Episode
and
5.
boy, are you in for a treat today.
Today is all about friendship.
It is, and we have some funny stories to tell you guys. You can send your cease and desist and NDAs to Don't Tell Our Moms podcast 2025 at gmail.com.
You remember the email this time.
I did
Good
remember our email.
job.
I've used it a lot this week because we have a lot of really fun, new, exciting things. I feel like we say that every week, but it's just because we're progressing very
Yeah.
quickly. We're now on TikTok. We're now on YouTube.
All the things.
All the things. You can find us on all the platforms now. So, however you want to listen to us, we're there.
We're there.
Yep.
Still on Spotify. So people who like to just listen and not watch, we're still uploading all the episodes on Spotify.
Yeah, don't worry. If you don't want to watch us on camera, neither do we.
Nope. But we're here.
So you can see our background. Merry Christmas. I got my tree up this weekend. But we're literally just in my it's like my living room. It's really like the sitting area of my bedroom. So we have some big things in the works over the next couple of weeks during Christmas break. May or may not be transforming one of my bedrooms upstairs into a whole podcast studio.
I'm so excited. Renovation.
Renovation. Literally, me and Molly are going to be using power tools, which our spouses have forbidden for a long time, but whatever.
Whatever. And we just get to go choose whatever paint color we want.
Yeah, it's going to be funky, crazy colors. It's just going to be really cool. I
I'm
don't want
very
to give away
excited.
too much because we'll post pictures of our progress as we go. But yeah, we're going to get our hands dirty and it's all for you. But we're only able to do that if you listen to us.
True.
And watch us.
Very true.
And like and subscribe.
All the things.
And all of the things. So I guess we can get into how our weeks were. So how was your week?
My week was really good. We did Friendsgiving on Saturday, which was such a good time. We had a really good time.
We did.
Um,
Thanks, Megan.
yeah, thanks, Megan, for hosting. Then Sunday, me and Jackie went to Hot Pot. That is my death row meal, is Hot Pot.
Yes.
If I was only allowed to eat like one food for the rest of my life, it would be like any kind of Asian cuisine. But
Yeah.
especially like soup, any kind of like Asian soup I could eat it for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that I got on Amazon and discovered you can get an electric hot pot for home. So I bought an electric hot pot that you just like plug in, sit at your dining room table and eat your hot pot. And we have really good Asian markets here.
Yes, we do.
So my hot pot will be here Saturday. And then I'm going to go to the Asian market and I'm going to have hot pot at home.
I really thought for a second you're going to say that you found that you could get the thing that we cooked the meat on.
I like a grill.
Just have it on your back patio.
I like the meat part of like.
It gives you the meat sweats though.
Yeah. You leave there just
miserable.
miserable.
Not even miserable. It's just you don't know there's no limit there.
No.
Like, yeah. Molly and Jackie turned me onto it.
It's
and
so good.
Yeah, I love it now.
So ordered that. And then the rest of this week has been chill. It's been hard because when you have to go back to work after a holiday, man, it sucks. And
it was
raining.
and it was like the beginning of the month.
Yeah.
Coming off of a long weekend. Yeah, I had the Sunday scaries bad this week.
So bad.
Real bad.
But it's been raining. So it's just been like kind of like slow, lazy, relaxing. I'm currently stuck watching My Name is Earl. So that's what I've been like binge watching this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. But once again, just had a chill. We have created such a peaceful home and a peaceful life. And like in my 20s, I'd be like, God, that's so boring. But like I baked some this week. I made some apple like muffin situation. I baked. I did some more embroidery. My hobbies are grandmother hobbies.
They are.
But we've created such a peaceful life. And like now I'm so thankful for that in my 30s.
Oh yeah.
So like every week I'm gonna get on here and be like, it was just fine. It was just like a normal, boring week. But like I'm so thankful for that
Yeah.
now.
It's real. I feel like it's relatable because if you knew me and Molly back in the day, you couldn't catch us at home.
If you told me in my 20s that my like early mid 30s would be spent at home, like baking and embroidering and crocheting and doing all the granny crafts, I've been like, what the?
Yeah.
But like now, that's where you can catch me on a
Yeah.
weekend.
So like on my Christmas what I want. The only thing I can think of to ask for Christmas this year, I want a bread maker,
I love that.
like, that you put on your countertop.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know that I'll ever be successful at sourdough. I don't know that that's even something that I am gonna try, but just like regular sandwich. My husband Brady
I
loves sandwiches, and so he would love to have fresh homemade, like, just loaf bread every week.
I have a whole cookbook of I forgot the brand. Maybe it's like the Southern Living cookbook. It's just like
Oh, those are my
it's
favorites.
just baked goods, and there's like 15, 25 recipes of just easy breads in there. So you can look through that and get a good bread recipe.
Mm.
So that was my week. How was yours?
Same. It was boring. It really was. I worked. I mean, I have I have very I did my planner today for the rest of the month. I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm trying to get on my Christmas present spot and sat down and like, okay, here's what I have going. And my next few, like between now and the new year, your girl is booked and busy.
Yeah.
I'm going back to Dothan 2 weekends. I'm going next weekend and then I'll be there the weekend of Christmas. And so I have a lot of traveling that I'm doing. And then this weekend, well, Saturday night is my work Christmas party.
Oh, that'd be
Different places kind of every year, but one of our favorites is Chuck's downtown. Man, the best sushi and the best steak and the best, most crisp martini. So we'll be partaking in a few of those. I'm not going to give it away because it's part of the game or segment that we have later, but it'll all
mm.
make sense. But there's another side of me that comes to play a few times a year. If you've ever been lucky enough to witness that different side of me, she's
Mhm.
a good time. But
Great
we
time.
only let her out a couple times a year, usually during Mardi Gras,
Yeah.
um, rodeo, and the Christmas party.
There you go.
Yeah.
All very appropriate times.
But yeah, my husband loves when that
I bet
happens.
he
But
does.
yeah. Um, so yeah, I'm just getting I have to do all of the things tomorrow night. Self tan, nails, getting my eyebrows waxed, doing all the things.
You know what I'm gonna be doing? Watching My Name Is Earl and probably embroidering tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. And my husband is I'm currently at Taco Bell getting me a quesadilla meal, but he is in town.
Be
He'll be
home.
home here in just a little bit. So I'm really excited for that. He was able to make it.
That's a good end to your week.
It is a good end to my week, and it goes by really fast, but I won't see him again until after Christmas because he is coming home Christmas Eve, and I will leave before he gets home to go be with my family, and so we won't see each other we'll leave next Wednesday, and we won't see each other again until, like, the Saturday after Christmas, but
He is a brave man because that means he'll be gone when Caitlin and I are here, left to our own devices to paint, renovate, do whatever we want to that room upstairs,
yeah,
and he's just letting us do it, and
yeah.
he's gonna come back to that,
Not to give away anything too much, he is this is how much, like I know we brag about our spouses a lot, but I
as we should.
yeah, we should. I called him on the way home last night and I said, "All right, so me and Molly have been talking about it, and we have I won't go on too long about this, but we have a lot more house than we will probably ever use, but we inherited it when my husband's grandmother passed away, and we gutted it down to the studs. I mean, our house is about 3,500 square feet, a little bit more than that. So it's a lot of house to renovate.
Yeah.
So we only live in about 1,200 square feet of it because it was a 1,200 square foot house is actually old army barracks. Well, I'll kind of tell more about this later, but they added a two-story addition onto it. So we don't really use the second story addition too much because like our bedroom, our kitchen, dining room, everything that would need our bathroom is on this side of the house. And then you go out of a door in my kitchen and you go up the stairs or down the stairs. And it's like a whole other house attached
Mhm.
to our house. And so when we were prioritizing needing to be able to move in here, it's just the 2 of us for now, so this works for us. It's like a one-bedroom house almost. But, so to say that, there are 4 bedrooms in our upstairs, like a little office space and a bathroom. And so he was like, "Take your pick, choose which room you wanna redo up there, and whatever you need to get it." I wasn't gonna say anything. I was gonna let you bring it up first, but I need my my couch back. I need so that way
Yeah.
and you guys, don't have to break down, all of the equipment and the lights and everything every time that you wanna record. It can stay up there all the time, and it'll be almost like my office when we're not recording. If I work from home any or, need to go up there, it'd be like my little she shed room.
A she shed.
So yeah, so in the process of that, I said, "Well, We got some crazy ideas, and one of those is pink shag carpet." And he said, "All right, well, I'll call around." And so he is on the hunt for some pink shag carpet, and he's gonna be installing that for us. So he is on the hunt for that and is gonna be the one to install the carpet for us. But he said, "I'm leaving the painting up to you and Molly." But joke's on him. I think he forgot. We have a paint sprayer. So
Oh,
we can have that whole room done in a few minutes.
I like
Joke's
the
on you, boo boo.
old-fashioned way, though.
Yeah. Yeah, we are probably gonna have to roll the ceiling. We're really excited.
Very.
We have a lot of big plans and big dreams, and it's really cool to see some of them start to come into fruition
Yeah,
and come true. So stay
yeah,
tuned. We're really excited.
absolutely.
But we won't go on too much more about that. I like to ramble, so we'll go on to the next. I'm gonna let Molly take over from here because this is kind of her segment.
Well, I thought it would be fun to do kind of like a friendship themed episode this time, all about friendship because that's one of my favorite things in the world. Not to be like too corny, but friendships are just some of the my favorite relationships in the world because
Yeah,
your closest friends are the people who like choose to like you and keep you around and hang out with you. Like not like family where they have to. Like these people
yeah,
choose to. And I saw this like quote one time and it said essentially, like, you are like, parts of you are made up from all the people that you've loved before.
yes,
So, like, even friends from childhood, you still might do something the way that they taught you to. Like, we have a friend, Haley, who we might not talk to on a regular basis, but I still, to this day, like to eat cut up strawberries in a bowl sprinkled with sugar and, like, you pour milk on top because that's how she taught me when we were in elementary school. And so that's why I think friendships are so beautiful because even if you guys didn't fall out because of like bad blood, you just kind of outgrew each other.
yeah. Life
Life
happens.
happens. Like,
Yeah,
and there are phases of life and friends that you just, people change and grow up and grow apart, even though there's no bad blood, but you still might have parts of you that do like, you might do things a certain way because they taught you how to do that thing. So I just think friendship is a really beautiful thing. So I wanted to highlight that this week.
Haley taught me how to make Dorito casserole. My husband thanks
I
you for your service.
I do love a Dorito casserole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you keep things like that of songs that people showed you or, recipes and things like that from people in your past because they were important at one time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
So,
Well, and not to downplay any other friendships or relationships in our lives, but there
no.
ain't many like ours.
No.
And with that comes almost 20 years of friendship. Um, comes a lot of memories,
Lots of stories.
lots of stories. And we're not going to give them all to you because then what the hell else are we going to do for the rest of time on this podcast? But we thought it would be kind of fun to maybe rapid fire
Mhm.
some of our funniest ones.
Yeah,
Some
some
of
of our
our
short little fave ones.
Yep,
Yeah.
or some of our, like, I don't know, when I think of when I think of Molly, I think of this. Alright, so I'm gonna let Molly go first because, like I said, this was her, like, wanted us to tell a few funny stories,
Yeah.
and there's so many, and there's some that I don't want to tell just yet.
No, because 'cause they're long and they need explanation and they're just so good
Yeah,
that they're gonna need like a whole episode.
and my one of mine, you're not gonna get a backstory on it, but um, it was just too funny. Alright.
One of my favorite memories is when Caitlin and I thought we could YouTube how to fix her car window. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think her window was like stuck. And so she had to wedge like a piece of paper or wood in there.
It was like 2 paint sticks from Lowe's
Yeah.
broken half.
So she had to like rig it so it wouldn't fall. Well, one day it did fall like completely into her door. So there was like no glass. She was gonna have to put plastic. And she was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not riding around with plastic.
I
Let's
have rode around with trash bags, like, taped to my it was oh my
She's like,
god.
I'm not doing this. We're about to fix my window. I'm not paying for it.
Nope.
Pull up a YouTube video. So we go, because we were living with my mom at the time.
I ordered the window off of Amazon. It was for my 2006 Ford Fusion.
So we go in my mom's house and get like random tools because, like I said, it had fallen, so we were gonna have to take off the whole door panel to pull her window back up. Well,
and needle nose pliers because we also,
Yeah,
in order to be able to grab, because even when you took off, like, where all, like, the motor for, like, the window and
we
stuff
still had to
was,
grab the window.
the window is still down in the track, and you can't get to the track, so we would have to, without shattering the glass, wedge needle nose pliers down into the track and try to pull the glass up.
Well, word of advice, do not use needle nose pliers on glass because after all of that work, we had been out there for hours watching these YouTube videos, grabbing it, couldn't get a hold of it. Well, we finally did grab a hold of it and it shattered.
Yeah, and I was gonna be replacing, like, I'm pretty sure I had a whole new, like, window and
See, I don't
everything.
remember the new window. I just remember us like wanting to like pull it back up so you could wedge it again and not have to have like just a gaping hole.
No, like, I ordered the window off of Amazon,
Okay.
but now there was just shattered glass all in the track. It was just a mess.
See, I didn't remember, like, the you having an extra window. What is just, like, so seared into my brain is us, like, out in my mom's front yard with her tools, with a YouTube video up. We've got your door panel ripped apart, and we've been at it for a long time now.
Yeah.
So, we grab it, it just shatters, and that's, like, all I remember is, like, us just being like, "What do we do now?"
We may have girl bossed too close to the sun on this
Mhm.
one. I think your cousin Brandon ended up showing up and helping.
Maybe, but that's yeah, that's I just remember
Yeah.
us thinking, "We can do this. We don't need any help," and then we broke the window.
Yeah, we shattered it. So, I do remember, so we used to also go stay at this cabin,
Mm.
um, and one weekend, do you remember when we all went to the cabin and I left my car at someone else's house and my window had dropped while we were gone, and so their mom taped trash bags to my car?
No.
Yeah, that did happen.
We had a lot of good times at that cabin.
We did have a lot of good times at that
We did.
cabin. Woo!
That's
Brady and
what
I actually went to go stay there. I took him to the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves it. He talks all the time. Follows them on Facebook now, but back then there wasn't a Facebook for it. There was just this old man,
Mhm.
and he was the sweetest, but she would call him, and he would say, "Okay, I got you down," and you would go to his house, and you would pay him $150 cash for the entire weekend.
That's
Like,
a great time.
can't beat it. I love it. We're gonna go back soon. I
Yeah.
think the 4 of us should go.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
Ugh, yeah, so, lot of good times at that cabin.
Mhm.
Yep. Um,
It's one of yours.
so, alright. So, we told in one of the episodes, we touched on that Molly and I lived at a house together in Midland City, but we didn't really, like, give a lot of backstory on that, but Molly, I lived at that house with someone else when we moved into it. The 2 of us moved in together, and then, like, I literally was there by myself a lot, and so I was like, "Hey, I want Molly to move in." So, the 3 of us lived together, but for a very short period of time. Um, like a couple of weeks. Molly was in school, so she was home during the day, and I worked 9 to 5. I work for the same company I do now, but just in a different place and back home. So I had like a 30-minute drive home, and I'd stopped to get Chinese for dinner for all of us. And we sit down at dinner, and both of them are acting very strange. And if you don't know, I'm just like, especially when I'm decompressing for the day or like talking about my day, I'm talking 90 to nothing. And we were actually supposed to go to said cabin that weekend. And
Mm.
so I'm just talking 90 to nothing. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess like we got to pack, we got to do this, we got to do that. And they're both just acting real strange. So I thought, like, okay, well, like, this is kind of weird, like they're acting strange.
I know I know where this is
Yeah.
going.
So, and even but, like, Molly, like, I was, like, joking and stuff, and Molly was just like, like, I was like, "What's their deal?"
You're not gonna be laughing for long.
So, it ends up just being me and Molly at the table, and, I get called to the back bedroom, like, "Hey, can you come back here for a minute?" And we had been together for a long time at this point, and we're now living together, and I was 21.
Yeah.
I mean, I was young. And so, I was like, "Oh my god, they've both been acting so strange." Because he's gonna propose to me. So I walked down our hallway and turned around and I literally like was like, "It's about to happen." And Molly said, I wouldn't I wouldn't bet on it. So not to get too far into it, but we did not get proposed. We broke up and he moved out that night. And full disclaimer, that one was on me, big dog.
It was.
That one was on me. Don't feel bad for me. That one was on me.
It
So
was.
it was on me. And so I am in the floor losing my mind. And I have a very nervous stomach. This is the funniest part of this story. I have a very anxious, nervous stomach. I always have. And so when I get really nervous or anxious, I throw up. So do you remember this? I am like Molly comes in and she comes in our bedroom and she doesn't know what to say to me. She's just like, I'm so sorry. I found out earlier this afternoon.
Sure did. Against my will.
I knew that this was going to happen, but I didn't have the heart to tell you. Like, it wasn't for me to tell you, but it's all going to be okay. Hey, yay, we're together. We're living together. And I'm just like it's just bad. And so I'm like, I'm going to be sick. I'm going to throw up. So I opened Molly's bathroom door, which is like the hall bathroom. And I projectile vomit all over the whole bathroom. And I'm like shaking and crap. And Molly's just holding my hair and like petting my back. And she's just like, Caitlin, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. And I'm but I know Molly, like I look back now and Molly was just like, what the?
Like, not to make your breakup trauma about me, but I'm gonna tell the story. I got home from class or somewhere, and he was already there, and he explained the situation, explained what he was about to do, and I said, "I'm about to leave," and he said, "No, you're not." He said, "It's gonna take about 5 minutes for me to say what I got to say, and I'm gonna bounce. So you gonna stay right here." And I was like, "I don't want to." He's like, "You ain't leaving. Don't worry about it." I was like, "God." So I'm just sitting there, like, while they're in the back bedroom, I know what's going on against my will.
But it's just the fact that I was like, oh my God, he's going to propose. And Molly was
No,
like, literally, I just remember the look on her face where she was
I
just
was, like,
like,
trying to,
maybe, she
like,
was like, maybe, but I don't really think so.
no,
But okay. All right,
like,
girl. See you in a
don't
minute. And I was like,
don't get your
okay.
hopes too
Like, just
high.
imagine someone walking down the hall and like, I like stopped and turned around and was like, Molly, it's happening. And she
No,
was like, no, it's not, girl.
nope,
So, but you know what? Life goes on.
yep,
I wouldn't trade it for the world. It got me to where I am today. So we will not ever talk about anything to do with that ever again. But I just could not share that story because it's as messed up as it is. It's one of my favorite Bali stories
yeah,
because not many people I was literally like, pretty sure I threw up all over her stuff in the mirror and she's just like, get to the toilet and she's holding my hair and she's just like, girl, it's gonna be okay. Like,
like,
Caitlin, you're gonna be okay. It's not I know it feels like it, but it's not the end of the world. Shit happens. It's gonna be okay. But after that, we became the reigning
we
queens
did,
of the palace and had a lot of great times
we
after
did.
that. And then we moved to Mobile, and the rest is history.
That's his
The rest
history.
is history.
The one of my favorite memories out it's, like, it's so small, but I still sometimes say it with that person. We were, like, coming in the front door, and we had, like, this cute little table by the front door.
And I had handmade a freaking plate.
And there was like this really cute hand painted plate on the little foyer table, and he runs into it and knocks the plate off, and all he says was, "Well, that broke."
Well, that broke. We said that for so long after
I
that.
still
Well,
sometimes
shit, that broke.
I dropped it because I have like at my coffee station in the kitchen, I have these little glass stirring spoons, and I dropped one the other day and it broke. And I said, "Well, that broke."
Yeah.
No emotion, just, "Well, that broke."
Yeah, but
So I
then
still,
we did. Molly, though, there was a lot of times where she was like, this is so best friend coded because like there were certain things that were in his name. So like we didn't have cable after that because he took the direct TV boxes back, and he was very justified in all this. I just want to say that. He was very justified in it. He could have done a lot worse. So to the direct to Molly was like, well, you're really picking this up for us, Caitlin. We don't have any damn cable.
how are we supposed to
We
watch
had,
Cops?
yeah, how are we supposed to watch Cops? He took the DJ equipment with him because we would do karaoke.
Oh, bless.
Yeah. So, mhm.
It's just, and that's why friendships are my favorite because like just those tiny little memories that we'll remember forever, and for other people they're like, that's not even big or funny, but like we just remember it so well for some reason. I
Yeah.
love it.
And anyone listening back home knows the lore of this. So, but that's why I say we won't speak on it anything else to do with it. But I just couldn't not because it was the start of the first. It was the only
Hmm.
time that me and Molly ever lived, just the two of us
Hmm.
ever. And that was one of my favorite. As traumatic as it was, and like it was a really also dark, rough time for me. But it was also the most fun that I've had
Yep.
ever in my entire life. We went to Cowboys 3 nights a week. We went to biker bars and played darts. If you don't know, me and Molly are really good at darts. Even though one time she did put a dart in someone's back, one of our friends, we were all playing darts one night and she shot it and he happened to walk in front of her when she did. And
That was his fault.
she did hit him in the back with a dart. Or did it like graze his face?
I don't I don't know. But if we were playing darts, then there's probably a reason I
Yeah.
don't remember.
But we got better at darts, and so we would go, and then these same bars had karaoke competitions, and so we would go to these biker bars on, like, random week they'd be, like, a Tuesday
Oh,
night,
yeah, it was always a
and I would
weekday.
be in there singing "Stay" by Sugarland at the top of my lungs with Hunter. Like I said, they were just I wouldn't trade that time for anything.
Mhm,
Like, it all worked out how it was supposed to, and I wouldn't trade any of it for the world because I found out a lot about we both did. We found out so much about who we were individually and together.
mhm.
Like, our friendship just grew in a different, like, way
Yeah,
from that, and we didn't have a care in the world. Our bills were paid, and
and everything else was quarter beer money.
everything else was quarter beer money. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I always joke and say I talk about my hoe days, but my hoe days were in that house.
Mm,
So, there'll probably be more stories that come from that house, but those were some great times in that house. Great.
right. Do you have another story?
I do. This one really is not long. It's very short. Doesn't have a lot of backstory, but I will never in my life forget this because I don't think I've ever laughed this hard in my
Am I gonna
life.
get canceled from this one?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. No. So we had come back from some kind of shenanigan we were doing, running the roads or at a get together or whatever. We were either living at my mom's or stopped by there to get clothes, something, but we were at my mom's house and I think I had to go to the I
I'm
thi
so sorry, but I just had a go ahead.
I think I had to go to the bathroom really bad or something, so I, like, jumped out of the car, and I'm already because like, at my mom's house, she has a really big front yard,
Yeah.
and there's, like, a space where you all park in the front yard, but you walk from where you park up to the deck to the front door. Well, I was already, like had made it across the front yard,
You were on the deck.
I was
You were
up
on the
the
top of the deck.
yeah, I was already up the stairs and, like, on the deck, opening the front door, and all I hear from behind me is, "Molly, Molly, Molly," in, like, full panic mode, and I just look back, and Caitlin's car is just rolling,
And
and
Molly's mom has she has a huge dick.
yeah, and Caitlin's just chasing after her car,
It
like,
it 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 rolled my foot over. I rolled it from my own foot. What happened was, I didn't put my
she
car in
forgot
park,
to put her car in park.
and it was a '94 Honda Accord, LaShonda. You're not a real one if you never rode out with me and LaShonda,
So
but
you could turn it off without putting it in park, and that's
yeah.
exactly what she did.
And so, because I think we were living with your mom, and I think that we were, like, out later than we were really supposed to be, and so I was getting my Vera Bradley tote out of my back seat. I was staying with you, and
Mhm.
I was getting my Vera Bradley duffel bag out of my back seat, and I'm open my back door, and I don't know if it was, like, me getting like, crawling into my back seat a little bit to, like, pick the bag that, like, moved my car, but all of a sudden, I'm just going, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And then I feel the tire on my foot, and I was like, "Molly, Molly, 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 Molly."
And
And she
I
was like,
don't
"Caitlin, get it, jump in it." So I had to jump and
and she all you see is Caitlin go, "Boom,"
yep,
because she
and
just hit that
I
brake
was
so hard.
I was so startled, and I left I left my car where it
She
was.
never pulled it
I
back
never pulled it
up.
back up. I threw that bitch apart, and I grabbed my tote, and I lit a cigarette, and so the next morning, her mom got up to go to work and was like, "Were y'all drunk and drove home last
You
night?"
were
And
like,
Molly
"No."
was like, "Nope," because my car was just, like, turned
Sideways in the middle
sideways
of the yard.
almost at the ditch, like, it's like, the road.
But Caitlin was not, like, truly mad, but she was like, "All you were doing was standing on the deck laughing. You didn't
Yeah.
come and help." And
She didn't come help at all. She was just standing there, she was like,
I was like, "What could I do, girl? Jump in there and hit the brake." But I will never forget when Caitlin forgot to put her car in park. Never.
Yeah, she did. She was just standing up there, and she was like
I
and
was just
she had to
I was
pee, and
hysterically
so she was
laughing.
like, "I'm gonna pee myself," and I was like, "We have bigger fish to fry than you pissing your pants right now."
But
Yeah,
you called it.
I did.
You called
It was
it.
a good save. It was a really good save because it was, like, headed straight for the dirt road. It was just about to be in the neighbor's yard. Amy, shout out to
But
you, girl, because it was about to be in your
it was about
front
to be
yard.
in her living room.
Yeah, that did happen. Well, yeah, that was, That was a good one.
Yeah, it was. You got one more for us?
I do. Okay. So if you remember, this also has to do with us going downtown. So couple things that we would do, like, to kind of preface this story, is that we were down to go anywhere,
Mm,
anywhere. Probably some places we shouldn't have gone, but we were just along
that's
for
the
the ride.
story of our
We were
lives.
just some good time Charlies. So, but our main places we would go were Cowboys, and then we would go downtown and go to District. And so, because I think Imagination had closed.
Yeah, by the time we were old
Yeah.
enough to
Like, actually drink at
legal yeah,
Imagination, it was
they were
closed.
closed.
So we would go to Cowboys, and then if Cowboys was dead, we would go to District or vice versa. So there was a handful of us girls who would all go out together. And one of the things that we started doing when guys would talk to us or approach us is we would not use our real names. So we were Brittany, we were Samantha, we were all these like normal, like just generic girl names. So it caught up to one of our friends though, because I think she told a guy her name was Brittany. And while she's sitting there talking to him, he found her on Instagram and he was like,
Yep.
"Your name's not Brittany." And she was like, "Gotta go.
Bye.
Bye." So we're at Cowboys one night and this guy was talking to me. And so some drinks had been had. Several drinks had been, if you don't remember, was it like 7 to 9 was happy hour? Not like, they didn't call it happy hour. It was 50 cent. Wednesdays were quarter beer, but Fridays and Saturdays it was 50 cent beers from like 7 to 9 or 8 to 10, something like that. But there was like a
Mhm.
2 hour window where it was 50 cent beers and dollar well
Oh,
drinks.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I would get like 17 vodka cranberries. We did not drive.
Nope.
Also, just to know, we always had a designated driver.
No, we did some stupid stuff, but one thing
Never
that we
drank and
never
drove.
did was
No.
if one of us knew that we had to drive, like, someone didn't drink so that
Yeah.
they could be the driver home because we like I said, we made some bad choices, but that was thankfully never one of them.
So yeah, we never drank and drove.
No,
But
no, that's
so
not
there was 50 cent. My husband just walked in. Hello. So there was 50 cent beers and dollar well drinks. So several dollar vodka cranberries had been consumed by this point by both Molly and I. And this guy was just like persistent. And so I was like, he was like, "What's your name?" And I couldn't think. And so Molly was like, "Her name's Veronica." And I was like, "Bitch, out of all the names that you could think of," he was like, "Your name's Veronica?" And I was like, "Sure is."
sure is.
So, that was the birth of Veronica. And Veronica was a good time.
Mhm.
Veronica still is a good time. So, like I said earlier, she only comes out a few times a year. If you've ever had the pleasure of being out or partying with Veronica, you're welcome.
It's a good time.
She's a good time. But yeah, out of all the names, Molly was like, "Her name's Veronica." And he was like, "Your name's Veronica?"
It just popped in my head.
But so I think Molly was Brittany a lot.
Yeah.
Molly was, and it was fitting. Molly was Brittany a lot. So we had gone to District. There was a strip club that was downtown, which was really random for Dothan. But there was a strip club. It's like a hole in the wall strip club. I'd never been in a strip club before. So a group of people were like, "Hey, we're gonna go to this strip club and across the street." Me and Molly were like, "Okay."
I love
So
a strip club.
so we went to the strip club and I lost Molly in a strip club forever. And I was like panicked. And so I was like I went up to the bouncer at one point. I don't know how we didn't get kicked out because, and it wasn't even like a big strip club, but I could not find her anywhere. And I was so panicked. Even the strippers were like, "Girl, are you good?" Because I was like frantically, I was like, "My friend, she's like she's real short. She's a lesbian." That had nothing to do with it. I was like, "She's like a
'Cause I don't even for real
she's a
look like her.
4'11. You can't miss her in the front. She's a lesbian." And he was like, "All right, that's like half the girls in here, but okay." And so then Molly just like reappeared out of nowhere. But I just remember being so panicked and was like, "How am I going to explain that she got kidnapped from the strip club?"
Because we didn't anytime we went out together, we didn't separate like that. Like, we would never
No,
go off without each other. We would never leave a friend behind. So I didn't leave the building.
no. But yeah, I literally was like, I was just afraid. I remember I specifically I'm to the bartender. She's like, "What can I get you to drink?" I don't need a damn drink. I didn't know where my friend is. What if I'm with her? And part of me was like, she's about to come out on the stage. So there was even a part where I was like, "Did they ask her to do an amateur? Is Molly about to start stripping?" Because she was just, I couldn't find, and come to find out, she had like gone to the bathroom for a minute, and then she was just somewhere. Like I think she
I
maybe
met
had
a
gone
friend
to.
in the bathroom.
She did meet a friend in the bathroom, and so she's in there making friends with this bath in the bathroom. Meanwhile, her best friend in the whole entire world is so panicked because if you've also ever been out with me, unless I've like really had a lot to drink, I'm the mom, and Molly will say that,
Mhm.
like I'm the mom of the group, like all right, like I'm very aware of my surroundings when I'm out. Like I've always been that way. And so I was on it. And I was like, her name's Molly or Brittany or Amber. I don't know. She gave me 4 different aliases, but all I know is that she's a 4'11" lesbian
And she is somewhere in this strip club.
and she's somewhere in this strip club. And so, yeah, I just the one, like the Friends episodes where it's like the one where I lost Molly in a strip club.
Well, I'll throw myself under the bus. I made a friend in the bathroom, okay? And she tried to say that she would text me on her iPad, and I had to get out of there.
All right, I wasn't going to throw Molly under the
No, I
bus.
don't care.
But Molly came out of the bathroom and she said, "Oh my God, isn't she so hot?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah." And she was like, "Her phone's broke, but she's gonna text me from her iPad when she gets home." And I said, "Molly, no,
And
just no."
and I
We knew her. We
yeah,
knew her through like mutual friends, so she was legit. It
yeah.
wasn't just some rando in the bathroom at the strip club.
I
But
think
for
we
Molly,
left.
it was
We
random.
left after that.
But yeah, we definitely. Yeah, I was because I was pissed. I was like, "Me, you're in there, damn, getting putting your number in some girl's iPad."
She didn't have it with her.
You're putting your you're putting your number in this girl's iPad, and I'm over here asking the bouncer where my damn lesbian's at.
Where's my
And he
lesbian?
was like, probably in the bathroom doing exactly what she was doing.
Where's my lesbian?
Where's my lesbian? I was like, Brittany would never.
Well,
So
Brittany did.
Brittany sure did. So yeah.
Oh boy.
But that's just scratching the surfaces. I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell y'all, like, we can't give you all the good ones up front. But if you hung out
Mm,
with us during that time, either I'm sorry or you're welcome.
probably a
It's
little
one of
both.
the two,
Yeah.
or a little bit of
Little
both.
both. Oh, loved that. We just wanted to share a few of our favorite quick stories of us being a disaster. But now I think we'll move on into our hot takes. And these are
Yes.
going to be friendship edition because this is a friendship episode. So let me hear your first friendship hot take.
So I only have one friendship hot take. I don't even really know if it's that much of a hot take, but to start, it's 2025, almost 2026. We're not in high school anymore, and mean girl energy is not cute. It's just not. But more so than being a mean girl, what really just a huge red flag if you have a girl in your life that is being a pick me.
Mm,
I'll say it, a pick
hmm
me. They're never going to pick you. Sorry. Um, and the thing I guess that I want to say around that of my one thing that I myself have experienced, and I think Molly knows this, we've had friends like this before. If you have a friend in your life, this is girls specifically because it happens the most with girls. Me and Molly pick all the time on each other, but I would never, especially if it's something that I know is an insecurity of Molly's, I would never joke about that or try
Right.
to get a laugh at her expense to other
Mm-mm.
people. So if you have a friend in your life who does that, who talks really just talks about your physical appearance, especially for male validation, or if someone says something about your appearance and their only response is not, "Hey, shut the," she's not your friend.
Absolutely.
But I have had friends in the past that have, are not always the nicest, especially when we're around other guys about that.
I hate that. That's so
Um,
ick.
it is. It's very ick. But I'll just say this. This is a public PSA. If the only thing that you can say negatively about me is my appearance or my weight, all right. I know I'm fat. But you know what else I am? You will not outwork me. You will not out hustle me. I have a personality. I can joke, but I can also have an intelligent conversation. And so if all you have to offer is your looks, baby girl, those fade. They gone.
But, like, also, of course, we were all teenagers. We've all had times where we're like mean girls, but it's so fun being a girl's girl. Like, my favorite thing to do
Oh.
is to compliment a stranger, like a
Yes.
strange, not a strange female, but like to
In the
compliment.
bathrooms of
Yeah,
strip clubs.
absolutely. Come here, girl.
Come
Let
here,
me tell you how
girl.
pretty you look. But, like, my favorite thing ever is to compliment a stranger. Like, if I see a woman walking and I'm like, "Oh, that outfit looks so cute, girl." Like, that's my favorite thing to do. I just love now to be a girl's girl.
Yeah.
So if we are still doing that, don't
And
do
I
that.
also had to
That's
learn
gross.
I had to learn as I've gotten older that it actually has absolutely nothing to do with me. They're just
Mm,
extreme 9 times out of
mhm.
10, they're extremely insecure, and, like, I may be fat, but I'm confident. But I just think that if you have to put other women down to feel better about yourself, you need to take a really long, especially for male validation, you need to take a
Yeah.
really long, hard look at yourself, and like I said, don't take it too personal because half the time it's they're projecting their insecurities on you, and because I have learned that we all have insecurities as women, like, I know girls that have bodies that I would kill to have, and they are so insecure about them.
We
So
all have
it's
our
just natural. Everyone, and I forget that sometimes, I think that everyone has insecurities. I mean, you can be the most beautiful girl in the world and still be ugly because of your personality and how you
Mhm.
treat other people. And I will end with saying, no matter how much weight I've ever gained in my marriage, it ain't lacking around here. It still gets weird, and just because you got a big back doesn't mean it can't get cracked.
Oh.
So, you know, that's just my 2 cents. Don't be a freaking mean girl. Ugh.
I agree.
Women should support each other.
Always.
And I also too, when Molly said girls, girls, I feel like like there's a few that I have in my life, and I will shout out because one of them is my coworker. And when I think of girls, girl, like I will tell anyone, she is a true girls, girl, and it's
I already
always
know who you're gonna
so
say. I love her.
Alexis.
Yeah, I love her.
She is always. It's so refreshing because she does not ever. She doesn't gossip. She doesn't talk down about, anyone, like, I've never heard her say anything negative. I told her today at work, I was like, "I'm giving you a shout out."
I love
She is very empowering. She's very like, she just has the most positive attitude. I don't know, I aspire to be more like her because she gives people the benefit of the doubt always. She's like the queen of giving grace, and, like, when I think of a girl's girl, I think of her, and so there are still we're not a dying breed.
no.
So,
No.
alright, on to Molly's. Hot take. I can't wait to hear it.
Hot take.
I love Molly's hot takes.
Sometimes they're lukewarm, but that's fine. The hot take is that if your friends don't sometimes tell you you're wrong, they're not really supportive friends.
There is no one else outside of my sister Stacy. There is no one else in this world that will check me so quick when I'm dead wrong. Molly can do it in a way that it's coming from a place of love. And it's only ever happened a few times in our friendship, honestly, but it always comes from a place of love.
And same with you telling me, "No, ma'am," about trying to give my number to a girl who was gonna text me on her iPad. Like, sometimes you gotta step in as a friend and be like, "That's not the best idea."
Yeah.
Um, or even if y'all are shopping together and those jeans don't look the best, be like, "Let's try on another pair." Or, "I'm gonna tell you if you have a booger. I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna let you walk around looking crazy. I'm gonna tell you." But if you are doing something that needs to be checked, I'm gonna tell you gently. And that's the thing. You don't have to be, like, rude about it, but you can check them in a nice, gentle way. But yeah, if you had just have, like, yes man friends, I feel like they're not really truly a supportive friend because either they feel like they can't tell you the truth because of your reaction or whatever the case might be, but, like, a real true friend should be able to, like, let you know when you're in the wrong or
Yeah. Or if
whatever.
you've done something like me and Molly are really good about that of communicating to each other. And again, it doesn't happen often. I know we're like, I don't want to say we're a phenomenon, but you know, it doesn't happen very often, but we've always been really good of like, "Hey, that hurt my feelings,"
Mhm.
or, "Hey, that upset me."
But you also have to build friendships where you feel like you can do that, where there's an open space for that,
Yeah,
to be like, "Hey, this hurt my feelings, here's why." "Oh, I'm so sorry, let me make sure to not do that again."
yeah.
So, I think also you have
Don't
to.
ever when someone tells you you've hurt their feelings, do not ever tell someone, "Well, I'm sorry you feel that way."
Ew, ugh, no.
And also, to piggyback on that too, is that as close as Molly and I are, and we are each other's ride or die, there are not many things in this world that Molly could do that I would walk into hell with her. I truly would. But if Molly was doing something that I knew that was gonna hurt someone else,
Mhm.
or if she was maybe making a life choice, and same for me, I would say, "Hey, no, we're not gonna do that," or, "Hey, no, you're better than that," or, "Hey,
Or
no."
let's just sit down and rethink this. Let's make a
Yeah.
pros
How
a
is your
pros and cons.
how is life gonna look like on I will be there for you, but how is life gonna look for you on the
Mhm.
other side of this choice that you're making? I also think that you should be able to check your friends' spouses, or if I don't wanna say check their spouses, but I think you should be able to tell your friends, like, "Hey, I think that I don't like the way they treat you. I don't like the way they talk to you. I don't like how you are different around." I don't know. I think that you should be able to have a conversation
Yeah,
with that.
you
We
have to
got very
build.
lucky in both, like, we
Yeah.
married the same person and we love each other's spouses, so I'm not referencing me and Molly, but we've had friendships before where, your friend gets into a relationship and changes completely as a person, or is not always in the most healthy relationship, and I think that you should be able to, I mean, there are boundaries. At the end of the day, it's my marriage or it's my relationship, but if Molly thought that I was, in a situation that I shouldn't be in, then it's totally like she should be able to say, "Hey, I don't agree with X, Y, and Z."
You have to build those relationships, like, with people who allow you to have those conversations when they're needed.
Yep.
And if they can't, then,
Mm-mm.
you know.
Then they're not your friend, they're an acquaintance.
Right. So that's my hot take is that
I love that.
you gotta if your friend's not telling you when you're being off the wall, they're not really supportive.
Yeah. But me and Molly are both also really sensitive, so we know how to, like, navigate around
Yeah, to
that
be
to
gentle.
be gentle. I love that, and I love
Thanks.
you so
I love
much.
you
I
so
love that
much.
this episode is about friendship,
Friendship.
and Molly, I said in the last episode, Molly is the brains behind this operation. She truly is. Like, I'm gonna give her flowers on that.
Eh,
And Molly has a really fun game for us to play. And I just really hope that we don't make ourselves look like complete fools because we've done absolutely nothing. Our whole podcast is surrounded about how we're soulmates and we literally eat, breathe, and sleep each other.
we're about to test that
We're about to
theory.
test that theory. So,
So we are gonna play a little game. Pretty much how well do you know each other? So we have whiteboards and we're gonna essentially gonna play the newlywed game, but for friends. So
yep.
we have whiteboards. We're going to ask each other the questions. We're gonna write at the same time and hopefully we'll reveal the same answer.
Yeah. And some of mine are actually not even just about me. Some of mine, because how we've talked so much of how close we are intertwined with each other's families, some of mine have to do with some of my family members to see if Molly, because only an OG would know some of these, and
Oh,
Molly
I'm
is my
excited.
OG.
I'm excited.
Okay, are we ready?
Ready.
Wait, so here goes nothing.
Here we go.
Kinda nervous, but don't worry, I'm not gonna throw up.
Don't puke.
Okay,
All right.
no cheaters. But my as my husband says, only when it comes to playing games. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
There you go. All right. Question is if I were a Spice Girl, which one would I be? And this you could really do which one you think I would be or which one I would choose to be because they're I feel like they might be the same.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
One, two, three.
Posh Spice.
I just Scary Spice. Really?
Yeah, that does track better.
Mostly because I like her outfit. She wears a lot of like animal print
Yeah,
and she's like
no,
loud and out there.
she is. But I just thought Posh Spice because, like, I don't know, Victoria Beckham, like, she just slay.
I get where
And,
you
like, even y'all's hair.
yeah, I get where you went with that because she's like mysterious and has like the dark hair. So
Yeah.
I get that. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I mostly went with Scary Spice because her outfits were my favorite.
Well, I have a strong feeling that Molly's gonna win this one.
No. This I'll start okay, next one I'll go with an easy one.
Okay.
And I might save my
Not be getting it wrong.
yeah, you won't.
There's no way you're not gonna get this
There's
right.
no way you'll get this wrong. If you do, I'm gonna have to reevaluate. So what is my favorite comfort TV show? This was an easy one.
You ready?
Yep.
The Office.
Dolphins. Nice job.
Yep.
I knew you better get that one right. I wanted to throw in one easy one for you.
You heard it here, folks. The only one I'm getting right.
All right. Next question. What is a tale that I've had too much to drink. And before you answer, I'm gonna help you out a little bit. This is gonna be kind of a two answer one because there's something I say, but there's also something that I do, especially when people call me out about having too much to drink. So I'm gonna write down both answers, but it gives you two chances to win. Okay,
All right.
we've got our answers.
I went with what I feel like you say. I'm gonna say it like Molly. You've not had enough to drink. Oh,
Also, do
she does go, damn it.
but also if you're ever out with me and I start to say, they didn't say excuse me, take me home, take me home,
Oh.
take me home.
Molly would be like, oh, so we're just gonna be bitches tonight.
So then
Got it.
after we're talking about being a girl's girl, but it's usually a guy
Yeah.
who I'm like, oh, they didn't say excuse me,
Oh my
take me home.
God.
But
What?
yeah, one thing because Caitlin would be like, Molly, are you drunk? And I'd go,
Yeah, she would. She'd go, like, who am I gonna tell?
I really thought you would get that one
Damn
because you used
it.
to always call me out for shushing you.
Molly was like, I'm about to make her look like just the shittiest friend ever. I have at least one right.
You do.
Ugh.
Okay, you'll get the other ones right.
Okay.
I really think you will.
But Molly has said, I don't think you've had enough to drink.
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah. But no, the shh is like the sound where me and Jackie are like, oh my God. All right, let's get her home.
What is the most unhinged thing I'd spend $200 on without hesitation?
The most unhinged
That most people would think.
taxidermy.
Taxidermy.
We almost had a prop.
Mhm.
If it would not have been a
Yeah.
$500 at the Ren Fair, we almost had two taxidermy raccoons in a canoe.
Yep. My favorite.
But it was like $800. And
Yeah, it
even me
was
and Molly, I
it
think
was
like Jackie saw that we were like looking at each other
we were
like
like,
we could go
we can
halvesies
split
on
this.
this.
We can go
Yeah.
halvesies.
Yeah.
I didn't say glad you got that one.
Okay.
Incredible. All right.
Sorry, my nose itches.
All
We don't
right.
have to cut that. My nose was just
Yeah.
itching.
This is my last question.
Okay.
What is my go-to appliance if I don't have a lighter?
Oh,
I'm gonna insert a photo here. Ready?
so bonus points. Me and Molly would her when we lived at her mom's house. If we couldn't find a lighter, we would light it on the flat top and then run through the kitchen and the dining room and the living room. And her mom would come out and go, "Who's smoking in the house?"
So we couldn't smoke in the house.
No, we didn't. They didn't smoke in the house, but she would go, "Is somebody smoking in here?"
So my solution one time I couldn't find a lighter, I pulled out the
Toaster
toaster.
in front of the front door. This picture's on my face. I took the picture.
Yeah,
Yep, face down on the
in the
toaster.
toaster.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I had to come back on that.
you did.
Okay.
Perfect. I'm very excited for yours.
Okay. Let's see. So
I'm
this is
scared.
going like way back. So also fun fact, Molly was one of the only I think like one of like two of my friends who outside of when we were like really young met and knew my dad. And my dad loved Molly. They did get into it on Facebook one time though because he thought Molly was bullying me and so he did not play that. And so they went back and forth in comments with each
Yeah.
other. And then also the first time that my dad met Molly, if you knew my dad, he was just he would be canceled today. But the first time he met Molly, she was of age, don't worry. But the
Mhm.
first time he met her, she walked into my sister's living room and I said, "Hey daddy, this is Molly, the girl you got into it with Facebook on." And he was like, "Oh, that's Molly." So she walks in and she goes to give him a hug because it's just Molly's a hugger. And he said, "Damn girl, the titty's on you." And she
I
said,
loved him from
"That's
that
my
moment.
man."
Loved him
All
from
right,
that moment.
that moment. So my you have to know this. I
Okay.
know you're gonna know this. So, what game to the day he died, my dad had my Facebook login. So, what game would he log into my Facebook to play or give himself things on? What game? All right, you ready? Farmville. My dad was obsessed with Farmville. Like, he would come visit for the week and he would stay at my sister's, and he would be just in the recliner with a bag of beers next to him and his laptop. And there was like one Christmas morning that we were like all opening presents, and he was like, "My crops are gonna die.
Y'all hurry up.
Merry Christmas. Hurry up." And he was like literally sitting in the recliner with his laptop, checking on his crops. So he did until the day he died. He had my Facebook login so he'd be like, I ain't looking at nothing. I'm just on there so that way I can give myself some coins. I
Mhm.
gotta grow my crops. He had a whole group that he was the leader of. And when they died, they sent his Farmville friends sent condolences, like stuff. It was crazy. So yeah. Okay.
Got it.
I'm looking at you like I'm not the one who has to ask a question. Okay. So this one, not a lot of people know this one, but Molly should know this one. What, where, or what did my grandmother do when her and my grandfather met? What was she? This
Mm.
is usually one of my 2 truths and a lie because no one ever believes me, but it's legit. Call my mom.
Ready?
She was a Playboy
A
bunny.
Playboy bunny.
So she wasn't like it was in St. Louis. And if you've never seen the documentary, there is a documentary about the whole Playboy franchise. And they had clubs in all of the big metropolitan areas. And my grandfather was from Alabama. And him and my mom moved to St. Louis when she was like 5. He was a single dad. Or like her parents got divorced, but he got custody of my mom, and he worked for the government, or he was a civil servant. And so after I watched this documentary last year, I was like, okay, not you paying for a membership to the Playboy Club. But she was a news anchor by day, and she was also a single mom. She was a news anchor by day, and she was a cocktail waitress at the Playboy Club in St. Louis. And the first time he ever laid eyes on her, he was like, "That's it. She was a baddie back in the day." But the only time that me and my little brother ever got the most trouble, like she never spanked us, but the most trouble we ever got in is she had a grand piano in her formal a living room, and it had a bench. And so we were going through, and there was just like sheet music in there, and we were going through it, and we may or may not have found some centerfolds.
Mm.
But it was just like the what, like 60s, and so it was like her in a big like the centerfolds back then were like a bikini. But yeah, so she worked for Playboy and she wore the whole get up and was a cocktail waitress at the
What a
club, and that's where they
queen.
met. And my mom has pictures of her as a little girl in like silk Playboy pajamas with the bunnies and stuff. So
What a
that's always
queen.
part of my two truths and a lie.
That's a good one to have.
Yep. All right. What is my love language
Hmm.
to other people? Like how do I show what's my love language that I show? Gift giving. Yep.
Mhm. Yep,
110%.
yep, yep, yep.
Yep.
Coming in strong.
Yeah.
3 for 3. Okay.
What did I go to college for? What was my dream job before I left college to do the job that I do now? What was I in school for? And bonus points if you know the specific type. I was in school to be a teacher. Yep. I was in school to be a teacher, specifically I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher my entire life. And I think I would make a damn good kindergarten
Yeah.
teacher, but I got all the way through this part of school where you do like where you sit in at the school, and I was like,
Yeah.
psych.
Yeah, so I put early childhood development
Yep.
because that's
But
yeah.
that was my
Yeah.
major at the time was early
Yep,
childhood
yep.
development. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. Because my other one was what was my drunk alter ego, but I gave that
Mm.
away. Um. Okay, so I guess what is my tell when I've had too much to drink?
Mm.
Want to get a hot dog?
I want a hot dog.
Can we get a hot dog? Yeah, if you're ever downtown with me, just know that we're not leaving until I get my hot dog
No,
and my
me
bag of
either.
Doritos and my crispy canned Sprite.
Ooh, I love hot dog man.
Yep, I
We
shit the bed on that one.
we know who loves who more in this relationship.
Molly has a lot more I'm very, I'm not as complex. Molly has a lot of layers to her,
Like an onion.
like an
Speaking of
onion.
onion, I'm wearing my Shrek shirt.
Oh, yeah, and so we're, like, in just, like, normal okay, first of all, so
Yeah, this is a normal shirt for me. I'm not dressing up funny. This is a normal everyday shirt that I wear, and it
yes.
says, "I can't today. I'm swamped," and it has Shrek on it. This is not special for this podcast. I wear
Yeah.
this all the time.
So we're gonna address the elephant in the room. Yeah, we had some blankets on in the last episode. We have a pod track, and so we were worried that you guys and we didn't have the mic stand, so we were
Mhm.
worried that you guys were gonna see all of the
The
wires,
cool.
and if you we the what you guys didn't see the edit of it, but it was a slow progression of at one point, it was, like, fully just tucked under my boobs,
I was
and
laughing
also
so hard. I said, "Caitlin, you're gonna be wearing that damn thing over your head
so
before this is over."
I sent my sister one of the bloopers, and she said, "It's y'all being wrapped up in the damn blankets for me." And she was like, because she knows how hot natured I am. Just know I was sweating my ass off the entire last episode because
Comfortable.
I don't really wrap up in blankets like that. But I also didn't know like we are figuring out angles and
Mhm.
like I also like okay, we'll never wear a big ass sweatshirt again either because I was watching the edits and I was like, oh my god. So, but to say that is part of our what we're really excited about getting the studio finished is because you guys might catch us sometimes in themed attire for our episodes.
Mhm.
It's gonna get funky. What's that? It's
Okay.
time to get funky.
Mm,
Everybody clap your hands.
mm.
All right. Well, that was so fun.
So fun.
Sorry, dropped the ball on that one.
You did not.
All right. This episode has been so much fun.
So fun.
That, that sounded fake. This episode has been you don't have to cut that out because that sounded really fake. This episode has been
It's
so
been
much fun.
literally a blast.
Yes, my husband is ready to murder me because he just drove 7 hours to get here, and I've done nothing but yell at him since he got in the door because the dogs are obviously going crazy, and I have a quesadilla meal from Taco Bell waiting on me. So,
Mhm.
Ozempic can't hold me back from that baby,
Mhm.
just so you know.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's time for our unhinged question.
Time for the last segment of the
I
night.
know. I always get so sad whenever we get to this because it's the end of it. Because if it was up to me, we would have we would be the next Joe Rogans and have 4 hour long podcast that takes you a week to finish. But
Just not as problematic.
yep. But I'll let you go first.
Okay.
Okay.
My unhinged question for tonight is if the FBI, if there was like a manhunt for me and you were the only one who knew where I was hiding, what would it take for you to give me up? Like, what could the FBI offer you for you to give me up?
Popeyes and a cigarette. I'm just kidding. Have you ever seen the first 48?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
So they're like, yo, we'll give you your dream house or
Mm. I
$1 billion.
can wholeheartedly say I would not give you up.
I love that.
I would not give you
It's a
up.
girl's
But
girl.
in all honesty, I feel like if you were on the run, I would be with you.
Hmm.
Even if I wasn't involved in it, if Molly called me and was like, "Hey, like, me and a bag of cash would be on the way to your house or wherever you were at, and we would Bonnie and Clyde it." But, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know anything that they could,
Thelma and Louise.
I don't know anything that they could offer me.
Love
Mm.
that. Hey, that's an acceptable answer. I
Yeah, I
love
can't
it.
think of anything. I wouldn't give her up.
Love that. What a girl's
Mm-mm.
girl.
Nope. You gonna have to pry this girl from my cold, dead hands.
Hey,
So
you'd be with me. We'd be like Thelma and
but
Louise.
now I would draw the line, though, if Molly was like, "We gotta go off the grid." I would so maybe it wouldn't necessarily be something they could offer me, but if you were like, "We're gonna have to live in this cabin with no Wi-Fi or, um"
Give me an embroider hoop and a fan. I'll make it out there.
yeah. So, like, if we had to, like, really go, like, off the grid, I would probably come out and be like, "Hey,
You would just bring
listen."
me supplies.
Yeah, I would bring her supplies. I don't know that I could stay with you out there. But, yeah, I
That's fine.
wholeheartedly can't think of anything.
Love that.
Mm.
That's an acceptable.
No, no, no. I know.
What?
I know. If they said, "Hey, we're gonna open up the vault for you. We got a stash from back in the day." If they offered to let me try Quaaludes, you're a goner.
What's that?
Oh my god. It was what all they were giving housewives back in, like, the, like, 40s and 50s.
Oh, like the pill.
Yes. Yeah. If they opened up the vault for me
Okay.
and said, "We got you a bottle of Quaaludes," I might would because I have always said I want like I wanna go back to my ancestors, just a 1940s housewife just
Just doped up?
popping Quaaludes
Okay.
and just vacuuming her floor for hours.
I might can find you some.
No, they're literally like they were like they're banned. Like they don't like I'm sure they probably have them somewhere. But no, like they're not even something you can get on the street.
Oh.
So yeah, if they open up the vault for me, that and also for someone who stood 10 toes down on nothing, that and also if they let me see the aliens.
Oh.
If they let me to Area 51,
I would be okay with that.
mhm.
I
Yeah.
would be,
So yeah, Quaaludes and aliens.
alright.
Yep.
Well,
All right. What is your what would you if they offered you?
also that's really hard.
I know. They would take Molly into New Orleans and they would say, "If you give her up, we'll let you be the head of a coven."
Sold.
Sold.
I'll give your coordinates.
Yep.
Okay, let's be so real. If they were like, "Tell us where she is," I'd be like, "Okay, only for immunity." So then what's the point?
Immunity for me?
Yeah.
I don't think it works like that.
Well, then
They would probably tell
then
you
they're
to
not
go
gonna know.
yourself.
Then they're not gonna know.
Yeah.
They're not gonna know.
Because you know how they're always like, "Look, all we want is, we really care. We don't want her to get hurt." So,
I'm not gonna tell them then.
yep.
Immunity
Okay.
or nothing.
No. I'm sure there's some things that Molly would give me up for.
No.
Yeah.
Not that I really have to sit here and really consider that. Cause like all the things that they could offer, what fun is it if I can't share with my best friend? You know? No. I mean, what fun is that?
No, I think for Molly, she would be like, I need if they would let her I know what she would do.
What?
If they would let you see, like, all of the if they would let Molly into, like, the file room where the files are for all of, like, the serial killers, and she got to see, like, the real files, or even if they offered her to interview with one of them,
Yeah.
yeah, she'd be like, "I'm gonna go visit him in prison, and I'll visit you too, girl."
I just want to pick y'all's brain.
Yep. Yeah, if they let Molly in to, like, the real secrets of, the serial killers,
Yeah, probably.
yep, she'd be like, "Yep."
Y'all can visit you in prison.
So, the Coven and the serial killers and Quaaludes and aliens.
What life is made of.
What life is made of. Now that sounds like a girl's trip.
Absolutely. Where do we sign up?
Yeah, we could go we could go to the cabin. I don't think it's only like $175 for the weekend now.
That's cheap.
So,
That's cheap. Let's do it.
yep.
All right,
All right.
I'm ready for yours.
Okay. So, if okay, you're at my funeral
Mhm.
and you get a hold of the aux. What song are you playing that you know guaranteed? It may make everyone else in the room uncomfortable, but what song are you playing that you know that, like, I would damn near almost come out of my casket if you played it?
There's 2.
Okay.
The first one would be Mr. Big, probably long hair or
Trial Time.
trial time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trial Time is my yeah.
So Mr. Big or Line Better Crib.
That when I rapped that song, word, my
Yeah.
husband had never heard it before. When I actually rapped that song in my wedding dress at our wedding after party, and everyone on that deck looked at my husband and he was like, "It's why I married her." Well, for the public record, I'm a weirdo and I'm very type A and I like to be in control of everything. So I have written out all of my last wishes for my funeral. It's going to be a banger. I'm kind of sad that I'm going to miss it.
We could
But
do one your
I have
solo.
I even have a certain amount of life insurance where my sister is my beneficiary because I know that she will, no matter what I request, she'll make it happen. And my husband, like, is not going to be the right state of mind to be doing some of these things that I want done. But I'll just share a few of them with you. I do not want to be cremated. I want to be buried. I want my casket to be pearl white, like Cadillac, like the Cadillac pearl white. I want to be buried in like a ball gown, like one of my Mardi Gras ball gowns, and I want doves released. I want a bunch of like pink and white hydrangeas. My funeral song, which also I'm going to apologize to you now. you're gonna have to sit through a mass now that I'm Catholic. So apologies for that. But my funeral song is I'll Fly Away by Alan Jackson in the church, and then Graveside Old Violin by Johnny Paycheck.
You've got it all planned
I
out.
have it all planned out. But I thought about this of what I would play at yours.
Those were the first, like, 2 that came to my head because those are our
Yeah,
songs.
yeah,
So I would wanna play them. I don't care how uncomfortable everybody else is,
yeah. Well, I would be just to taunt some people, I would play Girl on Fire by Rihanna.
because I will be cremated.
I would play Girl on Fire by Rihanna. And then I also think it would be really funny if you played a Paradise City by Guns N' Roses at mine.
I can do whatever you want. I can make it happen.
Or Molly would play on mine because I'm Catholic now. Molly would play Highway to Hell.
Oh, that was a good one.
I can see Molly being like, "Oh, you made me sit through this. I got to get up and down to these damn pews.
Mhm.
I had to sit through this mass. They're chanting in here. It's getting weird." And so Molly would be like, "I
I'm
got
about to
you.
make it real weird.
Yeah, I'm about to make it real weird." And she would play Highway to Hell.
That's a great idea.
But yeah, I thought about for yours. I would play Girl on Fire.
Yeah, because 'cause I'm the complete opposite of Caitlin. I don't want anything she said. If you put me on the ground, I'm gonna haunt the shit out of you guys.
Yeah.
Nope, I wanna be cremated. I don't want any kind of funeral. No funeral home, no none of that. Like I told you guys, take my life insurance, rent out a place, throw a party.
Yeah.
Like, make a slideshow if you must, but, like, a party. I don't want any kind of funeral.
My sister was the same
Yeah.
way. And we played if you knew Christy, you know how, like, fitting this was? One of her things that she wanted for her she did not want a funeral either, like a traditional funeral. She said, "I don't want all these people staring at me. No one will ever do my hair and makeup like I can. You guys will not get this right." So she wanted to be cremated. She wanted a celebration of life. And she asked my sister Stacy to play. She jokingly said, "I don't want y'all just all sitting around crying. I want it to be a party." And she jokingly was like, I want you to play boom, 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 boom. Tell me what you gonna do." So we played Crossroads after her eulogy, and I've never seen a room of people laughing and simultaneously
Mhm.
crying. Like, it went from, like, everyone laughed because Stacey was like, "I gotta play this for my girl. It's the one thing she asked for." Like, she didn't really ask for it, but she joked about it, and I know that she would love this, and so, like, my brother-in-law
Mhm.
pressed, like, play on, like, the aux, and it played over the speakers in the venue that we were in, and you just looked around and people were laughing, and then the longer that it played, everyone went from, like, laughing to crying, and everyone
Crying.
was at the end of it, people were like, only Christy would have a room full of people crying with Bone Thugs and Harmony,
Yeah,
but it was so fitting, and it
it
was the perfect way
was.
to send her off, so,
Absolutely.
yep. So I'm the yeah, but I've told my sister, which my sister Stacey was like, "None of y'all better die on me again," but I've told her, like, "I have explicit instructions for you and Molly, because I know Molly will be at the door telling people, no,
Mm-mm.
no admission.
I would say, if you didn't talk to
Take
her
your piece, Lily, and shove it up your ass."
if you didn't talk to her when she was alive, you don't get the right when she's dead.
No. Like, Molly would literally be like, "She didn't even
I'm gonna
like
be the
you."
security
Yep.
at the
So,
door.
that's gonna be a really long time from now,
Yeah.
but
Well, what a fun way to end that episode about death. God dang. Well, that was episode 5, ladies and gents. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us
Yes.
again.
We
And
can't wait to see you next week.
yeah, we will see you guys next week.
Okay, love you, bye.
Bye.